City Council's special Public Works and Infrastructure Committee meeting for Monday, June 5th. The time is 5 p.m. May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Felix.
Present.
Alderman Bowden.
Present.
Alderman Martinez. Alderman Newsom.
Present.
All right, we have a quorum and the meeting has begun. I'd like a motion for to approve the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee minutes from May 15th, 2023 as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Newsom.
Second.
Second by Alderman Felix. Newsom and Felix. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Audience time. Is there any member of the audience that would like to address this committee regards any item on the agenda for tonight's meeting? Going once, twice, three times. Item 2, old business. There is no old business. Item 3, new business. Excuse me. I'd like a motion for a resolution approving and authorizing the proper city officials to award the waste hauling request for proposal, or RFP, to Lakeshore Recycling Systems, LRS, for residential waste collection services beginning December 21st, 2023, and ending on November 30th, 2028. Based on the attached pricing, the city is in agreement with the most favorable amount submitted by LRS for $25.60 per month per household for the start of the contract.
I so move.
Motion by Alderman Bolton.
Second.
Second by Alderman Newsom. Any questions here? Not a question in the house. All right, I have a question. Chris or Shannon, do either of you know offhand what we're paying now, the current contract per household?
Okay, right now the current rate is $22.39.
$22.39. Thank you. One, two. So $3.21 increase.
It's the difference because of it being a new bid. So we figured, you know, there would be a difference, but it did come in more favorable than the other two bidders.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Very well, thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Felix.
Aye.
Alderman Bowden.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez. Aye. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item B, I'd like a motion for a resolution approving and authorizing the proper city officials to award the bid. Excuse me, the bid for the 2023 annual commodities concrete portion only to Ozinga for the highlighted pricing. On the bid tab, it is anticipated that an amount up to $125,000 may be spent for this bid. Excuse me. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Bolton. And questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Felix.
Aye.
Alderman Bowden.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez. Aye. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Item C, I would, if you please, a motion for a resolution approving and authorizing the proper city officials to award the 2023 bi-weekly mowing bid to Dan Dean Investments per section 2-458, subsection I, subsection 7, good faith waiver, for a not to exceed amount of $60,000. Is there a motion for this one?
I so moved.
Motion by Alderman Bolton.
Second by Martinez.
By Alderman Martinez. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. Questions? All right. Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Felix. Alderman
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item D, item D, I'd like a motion for a resolution approving and authorizing the proper city officials to award the 2023 weekly mowing bid to GNS Services for a not-to-exceed amount of $53,600. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Newsom,
I second.
second by Alderman Bolton. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, ma'am. Questions? Okay. A little explanation or clarification here. So the first one we just approved for Dan Dean Investments. That's bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks, they'll go out and they'll cut city property, parkways and such, right? This one we just are going to vote on now, is weekly GNS Services. These are the guys that go out and cut the vacant properties, vacant lots, and vacant or abandoned houses when that gets overgrown. So that's the difference in the contracts. One guy is gonna do public or city properties, the other is gonna do vacant properties. All right? If I can have a roll call, please?
Alderman Turner?
Yes, sir.
So the people know when they have issues with certain lots, they should still be reaching out to Public Works?
Yes, absolutely. This is all managed by Public Works.
Thank you.
So they should not be making friends with and calling up these contractors. Okay, it goes through Public Works. All right?
Alderman Turner, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Hey, my question is that with these cul-de-sacs that are in the Waukegan area, I know that's the responsibility of neighbors. Is there any way that we can get them to cut them, the cul-de-sacs in the neighborhoods? I know I'm having a lot of callers saying that the grass is high and they need somebody to come out and cut it. And what I was told was that that's the responsibility of the neighbors, that the cul-de-sac, they got the little islands, I want to say. Is there any way that we can?
Oh, you mean like a parkway in, yeah, that's
Yeah,
city
you know
property.
how they go around and then there's
Yeah.
like little island in the middle, there's that little area, it's very small.
Right.
A lot of times that doesn't get mowed and I get called, hey, who's gonna cut it? And I let them know, hey, it's the responsibility of the neighbors, someone can take ownership of that.
Ultimately, it is city's responsibility, is city property, but if the neighbors can pitch in and go get it done, those are relatively small, and with a
Right.
mower, one guy's cutting his grass, but if they don't wanna do it, Public Works.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And just be aware, if Public Works has to be involved, Public Works is gonna take it out. Because we don't have the manpower to be going back and forth trying to keep up with things of that
Absolutely.
nature.
And that's, basically that's what I was told, that become a blacktop lot, and when I brought that up to that particular neighbor, he did say he'll take responsibility and start cutting it.
The other thing, when you're speaking to your neighbors about grass cutting and such, please remind them that the grass clipping should not go into the street. You know, so encourage them to clean the curb line, particularly the storm sewer grates, right? Get the debris out. That's very helpful, and you guys will find out, if you haven't noticed it in all these years, but you'll find out now when those sewers back up and the intersections flood, the neighbors are calling you at, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, just encourage you to do that.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when we cut, do you charge the property owner later, or how is that navigated?
For the vacant properties, if the owner can be located or identified, even if it's a bank, then that they will be given a notice, an opportunity to pay. If not, then a lien is placed against the property, so that when it sells, if ever it sells, we reimburse those liens off the top of that sale. But often that's one of the first things that's kind of negotiated away, or negotiated betwixt the buyer and seller.
And Alderman Turner?
Yes.
Was that your question?
I'm sorry?
Did he answer your question?
Yes, he did. Was it okay for you?
No, yeah. I had another question.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So going back to what Alderman Martinez stated, with what Chris stated as well. So if the people are seeing islands, that are not getting cut.
Right. Yes.
In order for us to take care of it, we'll just black it out because we don't have the manpower, right?
The islands are on the list to get cut.
They are.
They're cutting them. They just.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
part of this, I'm sorry.
It's,
No.
Yeah,
it's part of that.
I think what the director was saying is, you got this island, says, hey, Mr. Director, can you send a guy out there to cut the grass? Yes, I'll send someone over. It's not gonna be a high priority, and they don't have the manpower to come back every week or every 2 weeks, so it may be some period of time before it gets cut again, or it's not gonna be cut on a regular basis. We just don't have the manpower for it.
Okay.
Did I misstate that, Mr. Director?
yes.
Okay, got it? Okay, thanks.
I just want to compliment Public Works, Mr. Garland, how you always is on top of the islands on Adams, where they, discard sofas and mattresses, but I just thank you for always being on top of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, they do a really great job. Actually, I would also mention, you had a crew over on Douglas Court this morning, repairing that sunken sewer grate. They did a phenomenal job. I stood out there and watched them shooting the breeze with them a little bit. But your guys are really on top of everything, so please pass that down from both of Alderman
It will,
Bolton
it
and
will.
myself, okay? All right, so let's take a vote. Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Felix,
Aye.
Alderman Bolton,
Aye.
Alderman Martinez,
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passes. And item E, if you will, I would like a motion for a resolution approving and authorizing the proper city officials to award the 2023 cemeteries mowing bid to GNS Services for a not-to-exceed amount of $31,000. So I think we have 3 cemeteries?
2.
We have 2 cemeteries. One over on Grand and one down on Sheridan. I
Correct.
thought there were 2 on Grand.
No, it's 2.
Okay, so we got 2 cemeteries that need to be maintained on a regular basis. GNS Services is going to address those cemeteries, and I would like a motion, if you will. Any motion?
May I ask a
Motion
question
by-
before you make a motion?
After the motion. Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by
Aye.
Alderman Bolton. And questions
Thank you. How is the price determined?
by bid?
$31,000.
These go out to bid, don't they?
Was that the bid? How is that determined? I mean, do they quote us or do we quote them?
So staff recommends that the members of the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee authorize the mayor to approve the resolution approving the award of the bid for the 2023 cemeteries mowing bid to GNS Services for not to exceed amount of $31,000. Funds are to be charged to line item 100-9106-24410. So they all go out to bid.
It was,
Go ahead, ma'am.
in April, it was no bids being received, and then in May, there were 2. So this contract, what is that, GNS got that one. So it was two bids.
Does that answer your question, ma'am?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm looking at the
Okay.
email.
Any other questions? No? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Felix,
Aye.
Alderman Bolton,
Aye.
Alderman Martinez,
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Item F, if you please, I would like a motion for a resolution approving and authorizing the proper city officials to allow leak detection services performed by M.E. Simpson per section 2-458 subsection I subsection 3, joint purchasing for a not to exceed amount of $40,000. Is there a motion?
So moved.
So move.
Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Bolton. Any questions? All right, roll call, please.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Felix,
Aye.
Alderman Bolton,
Aye.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item G, if you will. Yes, item G. I'd like a motion for a resolution approving and authorizing the proper city officials to enter into a contract with Office Plus for the purchase of office furniture for public works per section 2-458 subsection I. Subsection 3, joint purchasing for a not-to-exceed amount of $37,120.84. Is there a motion here?
I so move.
Bolton, Alderman Bolton motions.
Second.
Alderman Felix makes the second. Questions, please.
No.
No questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Felix.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Okay. So that's it for that. So item number 4, reports and communications. There are none. And adjournment. I would like a motion to adjourn.
So
I so move.
Motion by both Alderman Newsom and Bolton. And who's gonna second it? I'll second it. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.